Hi there, and welcome to today's webinar. My name is Joe Dormer. I am the CRO here at ShortPoint, and today we're going to be talking about our new ShortPoint AI Designer. I've been with ShortPoint now for a little over 8 years, actually. So as I see a lot of folks coming into the meeting, there's a lot of familiar faces, some new ones as well, which I'm happy to see. But again, a lot of folks that I recognize from conversations over the years. Point is, I've seen a lot of changes to ShortPoint since I joined. And I think among all of those, this is probably the one that I'm most excited about. And then I think our clients are most excited about as well. So I'm really excited to have everyone here today and to show you a little bit about how this works. So before we get into the actual demo, I am going to build a page or two with you and show you how the AI Designer works. I've got a couple slides just as kind of a quick introduction to ShortPoint overall, a little introduction to the AI Designer, some of the key features we're going to look at, and then we're going to jump into a demo and build a couple pages, like I said. So with that, again, I think a lot of folks, if you're at this webinar, you might know what ShortPoint is, but just in case you're new to ShortPoint overall, ShortPoint's a no-code intranet design solution for SharePoint. So it's an app that you'll upload into your SharePoint environment. We have our own set of, we call them design elements. Those are part of what we call our page builder. You can use that, of course, to create your own pages using our different design elements. We also have created our own set of templates based on those elements that you can use to speed along the development of your site as well. So a lot of clients today start with those templates that we've created and then use that builder to move things around or add in their content, etc. The last piece here at the bottom is our theme builder. That theme builder is what we use to set our branding at the site level. So things like your company colors or fonts, we can set that branding one time for your whole site, and then every page within that site will inherit the branding that you've added as part of that theme builder. Today, though, we're going to be talking specifically about our AI Designer. Obviously, everything, all software is kind of doing their own spin of AI, and we, of course, needed to do the same thing. And we want to now give you the capability to create pages using AI. So rather than just picking from our predefined templates, rather than having to build something from scratch, now we can let the AI Designer build it for us. We can prompt to create a page. You can either write a prompt or you can use voice input to describe the page that you want to create, and the designer will create it for you. You can still start from our templates. A little bit biased there maybe, but I think again our design team has done a great job creating those templates, and there's still a really good starting place to look. So you may find that you want to start from one of those templates, but then just ask the AI Designer to tweak something, adjust certain content, make it more suited for a different department. Whatever the case might be, start with a template, give it some modifications, and let the designer build it for you. We also can attach a picture. So if you've created a mock-up or have some other image that you'd like to use as the inspiration for your page, you can do that as well. We'll see, and we'll go through this today a little bit, but it is going to be a little bit of an iterative approach. We're not typically just going to give it one prompt, give it one picture, and then it builds it and we're done. There's going to be some back and forth, so we can keep revising the page. You can select specific components on the page and give it an instruction to change that in a particular way. And then again, we talked about the theme builder a moment ago. The AI Designer is going to be aware of the theme that we have published on our site. It's going to know our brand colors then based on that, and everything we create will be on brand using the theme that's already on your site. We do have version history with this AI Designer as well, so you'll be able to revert back if you give it a prompt or suggest a change and you're not happy with the way that change turned out. You can always revert back, try again, or give it maybe a different instruction there. And then finally, this one's really important, the connect to sources. Yes, we do have the design piece of it is important, right? We give it some instruction and explain maybe the layout, what sections are going to go where, but we then want that content to also be dynamic and relevant. So the AI designer, it's not just designing, but it can actually make the connection to your data for you. Again, our application is added into your SharePoint environment already, so it can use the REST API connection and the Graph API connection to pull in relevant content. If we're creating maybe an employee directory, we can connect it to the profiles. If we're adding a section for documents, we can connect it to maybe recent documents of each person that's visiting the site. So we can give it those types of instructions. What content do we want to see here? And it can dynamically make that connection for us. So with that said, let's jump over to a demo. Let me pull up my site here. We're going to be working on the den, which is what we're calling our intranet. Let's go ahead and edit this page. Okay, here we go. Now from here, we're going to go in and add a section. These are the standard SharePoint sections. You could use whatever you like. I often, though, do like to start with this full width section. And then here is our page builder. Again, for folks, if you're not using ShortPoint today, our page builder is actually just one web part. And then inside of that, we have all of our different design elements, templates, etc. So we'll go ahead and add in our page builder here. And then we have three options now. Previously, we had the choose a layout option, and we had the open templates where you can view and pick a template. Now we have a third option, which is to use the AI designer to build a page. So we're going to click that one, and it just gives us an area down at the bottom to give it a prompt. So let me just copy over a prompt that we want to use. I'm going to create a page that has a, welcome to our intranet with an image, sort of a header at the top. We then are going to add a quick links section for some common tools. I've got it instructed to create a news section and some events, and then we want to add an employee directory as well. So let's go ahead and get that started. Now, again, the fun part of all AI tools is they take a little bit of time. So rather than us watching it do its job over here on the left, what I'm going to do is open up a couple other pages here so that we can see some of the other ways we could create a page. So let's edit this page. And we're going to do the same thing here. I'm going to add another section and add in our page builder web part again. Now here, maybe we want to start with a template. So let's try a template here. And again, you can view all of the different templates and pick whichever one you like. If you want to take a closer look at one, we can click the I button to click into the preview here. And I'm going to keep this pretty simple. Maybe I want it to create this page, but I want it to make sure it connects this to my news. So let's go to the AI designer now from the template, and you can see it's referencing that layout. And I'm going to say add this template and connect the news to my news posts from this site. And let's start that one. Okay, so that's going to start working here. And we're going to start one more. This one I'm going to do from an image. And just to show you, this is the mock-up that we're going to give it. We'll see how close it gets it. Again, these don't look like ShortPoint elements. So some of this is going to be a little different, but hopefully it'll give us a good starting point to work from. So let's edit this page. One more time, add in a section, add in the ShortPoint web part. We're going to go back to our AI designer here. And then now, rather than giving it a prompt, I'm going to go ahead and attach a photo. I've already uploaded this to SharePoint, so let's go into our site assets here. And we'll click our intranet mockup. create a page based on this mockup. And we'll start that one. All right, let's check the progress on our first one while that's working. Okay, it did design, and just to give you a sense of the time, it'll show you how long something took over on the left. So this page took about 2 minutes here to create, designing and then creating the ShortPoint snippet. So let's see what it looks like. We've got our header with a background image at the top. We've got some quick links here. It's pulling in the news, and this one actually, I didn't even tell it specifically to connect to the news on this site, but it is dynamically pulling in news here. We have an events element, but this one, it looks like it didn't add any events for us, which, that's okay. I didn't give it instructions as far as what calendar maybe to pull in from or anything like that. So we'll leave that one as it is for now. And then down at the bottom, we've got our employee directory as well. And this one, again, it, without me asking, understood that I was creating an employee directory. And so it automatically is now connecting this to our Office 365 profiles and showing me real data about the users in my tenant. Okay. Let's make a couple changes here. So if I wanted to change something, maybe, I like this, but I want this to be centered. We'll do maybe sort of a simple layout change. This button is going to let us activate the selector tool. So if we come here now, I can select this specific column that contains my quick links. And I'm going to say, we'll say center my quick links. And we'll start that one. Okay, so it's going to modify those. We'll give it a moment to do that and check on the progress here. Okay, so again, this is the template that I chose, and I gave it instructions to connect our news to the news posts on the site, and it did that for me. So again, we've had these templates, we've had these tools to build pages for a long time. A lot of clients over the years have added a template, but then it's just sort of been placeholder content. That news didn't know where to pull from. Using the AI designer now, you don't need to know how to do the connections anymore, at least a lot of them. We can still go in and manually use the connect feature that we have in ShortPoint. And just to show you this, if we go into the settings here, we can see that this is connected. I'm not going to spend a ton of time on the connection here, but it connected using the Graph API query. The point that I want to highlight is if you wanted to change this connection, you could still go in and do that. We could make a modification to this connection and update it as needed. Again, hopefully you're not having to do that much, if at all, anymore, because we can just give it a prompt, describe what we want to see, and it'll automatically pull in there. So there's our page from a template. And then here's our page from our mockup. So again, we'll pull that up one more time. Welcome to our intranet. We've got a search box, some buttons, news, events, etc. How'd it do? We've got a welcome message at the top with our search. We've got some quick links here, some news, some events, got some documents, an FAQ, and then our employee directory at the bottom. Pretty good. This one didn't connect, so we could, again, give it a prompt to connect. We could make some other tweaks to it, but it did a pretty good job of creating that template just based on the image that I shared here. Okay, going back to our first page, we can see that our quick links have been centered here, so that looks good. I'm going to turn off the select tool here. Now, the thing I want to point out is, just because you're using the AI designer to start building your page, that does not mean that you should only always use the AI designer moving forward. So what I mean is, you could tell the AI designer what specific links you want to add here. In some instances, though, it might be easier and quicker even to just go to the quick link settings, add another quick link, put in your icon, put in your title, put in your link, and save that. So again, use the AI designer. We hope you do We hope that it makes things way easier for you. But the nice thing about this too, again, is the AI designer, it's not writing a bunch of custom code that you then need to rely on the AI designer to make every single edit, or you need a developer to come in here and make those changes. It's all being built with ShortPoint. So again, it's going to be really easy for you to use the same ShortPoint interface, select a specific element. We can, again, change, the design styles, play around with it. So hopefully, again, the AI tool will give you a great starting point, and then you can use ShortPoint moving forward to make some adjustments, or again, continue to give it prompts as you want to make some tweaks. Okay. Let's see. We're going to do just a couple other changes just for some fun here. So this person card element, or this employee directory, this one again did connect to my actual profiles, but I want to do one other thing, which is I want this to be searchable. So add a search box to the employee directory. And add a filter based on department. Okay, let's go ahead and add that. And it's going to work on that. One more thing while that one is working. Let's do one other one. I'm just going to go to the bottom of this page. I know we've looked at an employee directory a couple of times, but I want to point out one other area. Again, if we go to the templates here, we don't just have the templates. There is also this sections area. So you can view the different sections here. And so again, if you add a template, or you created a template that doesn't have an employee directory, and now, I like the way that this employee directory looks, great. So I can, again, choose just that specific piece to add to my template, and then say, connect this to my Entra profiles. Okay, and then we'll start that one. So this is, again, where it can take a little bit of time here to add sometimes, to add a search or a filter. This one's working as well. So while we're waiting for those two to finish here, there's one other thing. I'm going to take a little detour actually away from the actual building of the pages using the designer. We have introduced a new role in ShortPoint to help you manage the use of the AI designer, and also given that admin a couple other controls, and I want to highlight those here. So we're going to go over to our ShortPoint dashboard. This is where you would manage the installation. You can manage the license seats that you have, who's a designer, etc. We now will have a new admin tile available here. The admin tile is going to only be available to whoever is specified under your account as an admin, as a ShortPoint admin. In order to set the ShortPoint admin, we are reaching out to clients now. You may have already heard from us, or you will soon if you haven't. But if you're watching this webinar, feel free to reach out proactively. We're going to set the ShortPoint admin from our side. So what we need, if you have only one designer, that person will automatically be the admin. If you have more than one designer on your account, we need you to let us know who that admin should be, and we will set it for you from our side. Once you've assigned that admin, they will have the ability to go to this admin page. When we release these features, by default, the AI designer will be disabled. You will have to come to this admin page and toggle on the AI designer in order to have it on your site. There's a data collection toggle, so you can control if we're storing any prompts or other information about your use of the AI designer. Below that, we have some credit information, so you can see my usage of credits here within this tenant. Over on the right, you can get a little bit more detailed if you want to see the usage over time, as well as who has been using the designer. If we go down a little bit here, you can also purchase additional credits. This interface is going to change a little bit, and I know I haven't talked about the credits yet. I will explain those back in the slideshow in just a moment, so hang tight on that, but just know that you'll have the option to purchase credits. It likely will be a select option to pick from a couple different quantity levels rather than just a form field here. But again, you'll have that option to purchase additional credits or enable an auto recharge where you can either have a monthly recurring purchase or just top up whenever you run out of credits. It can automatically purchase more if you'd like to turn those options on as well. Other than the AI designer controls that we have here, we also have a dashboard access option down at the bottom. These toggles will allow the admin to control what access non-admin designers have in that dashboard. So the update page, to be able to control the version of ShortPoint that you're using, you'll be able to control access to that so that only the admin can manage the version of ShortPoint if you'd like. Same with the accessibility. We can turn on or off that ability for non-admins to enable the accessibility features. And then finally, the license page. You can also disable that for non-admin designers so that only the admin then would be able to assign the ShortPoint license seat to the correct users on your team. All right. That is, I think, everything here with this admin. We're going to go back one more time. Again, took about 2 minutes here to add my search and filter now to our directory. So that looks good. Let's save this just so we can see what it looks like in real time here. So if I wanted to search now, we could search in this employee directory, or we could filter based on that department. Perfect. And let's see, I think it was this one as well. Here is that employee directory again. This one I gave it the instructions to add the employee directory, and I told it to connect to my team. So it's now added that employee directory with the actual profiles from our team. All right. That's going to be where we wrap up as far as the live demo goes. So I'm going to jump back to the slides for just a couple other items to talk about. I mentioned the credits briefly there on the admin page. The credits, the way this is going to work, it's 1 credit is equal to 2 cents. That's going to be the cost of each credit. A full page then will cost 40 credits or about 80 cents to generate. Creating a section, if you just create one specific section, would be 12 cents, and then editing a section will be 8 credits or 16 cents. That can sound a little counterintuitive here, but that's based on the actual data that we saw in testing this as far as our cost to reflect the create, edit, and full page build here. With your license, so with a pro plan, you will already have 2,000 credits per year. The enterprise plan will have 10,000 credits per year. And then again, the other key note here is there's no Copilot or other license that would be required to use the AI designer. It's all going to be covered under your ShortPoint license and then purchasing additional credits if you run out. All right. We talked about the admin. I had a slide in here for the admin, but I think we covered that pretty well when we went through that page. So I'm going to skip that. Again, the only thing I will remind you is you need to let us know who your admin is going to be if you don't have a one designer license. If you have more than one designer license, let us know who that admin should be so that we can assign that. We can assign it now, even before this is released. So the sooner you let us know, the better. And that way, as soon as this is released, it will be available for you and your admin will already be assigned. How to get access. Again, if you're not a current ShortPoint user, you can go to our website, start a free 15-day trial. We don't ask for a credit card or anything, so you can just sign up for the trial and test things out. Again, it's not available today. The AI Designer will be released soon. If you already have ShortPoint, don't need to do anything. We will be in touch very soon with more information about the release date. As soon as that's released, you would just need your admin to go and toggle on the AI Designer functionality, and you'll be all set. All right. I think that is where my presentation ends today. I'm going to take a quick look and see if we have a few questions I can answer before we wrap up. Okay, so can the AI Designer create pages in multiple languages? Right now, it's only English. So your prompts and the output will be only in English for the time being. How does the AI Designer know our company's brand? So the AI Designer, it's not going to know that by default. It's not going to go to your company website and pull that information or anything. Again, that's where the theme builder is going to come into play. I didn't show the theme builder today, but we have that utility. You can go into the theme builder, add your colors, fonts, etc. And once you've added in your branding into that theme builder, the AI Designer will use those brand guidelines to create any pages you ask it to create. Does it work with existing pages or just new pages? You can use this on any page. So you can absolutely use the AI Designer on your existing pages. It'll be available anywhere where you have the ShortPoint web part. You just need to make sure you add in the ShortPoint page builder, and then you can go into the AI Designer, or even if you already created a page with ShortPoint, once you have the AI Designer, you would be able to use the select tool maybe to select a certain section within your page and give it some instruction to tweak it. But yes, absolutely. New pages, existing pages, doesn't matter. You'll be able to use it on all the pages in your site. Can multiple team members collaborate with the AI Designer? Again, yes, absolutely. The way our license model works, it is based on the number of quote unquote designers. So you would need a ShortPoint licensee. Anyone who has a ShortPoint license assigned to their account will be able to use the AI Designer. Just keep in mind, again, it's a shared pool of credits. Everyone doesn't have their own credit, so you'll be sharing those credits across the company. Again, of course, the SharePoint restrictions around co-authoring or editing pages would still impact your ability to edit the same page perhaps at a time. But absolutely, more than one person can use the AI Designer on your site. All right, I think that is where we're going to wrap up here for today. But again, thank you to everyone for coming. If we didn't get to your question during today's webinar, we will certainly follow up over email in the coming days here. We're very excited to see what you create using the AI Designer. We are very excited as well to hear your feedback, areas that we can continue to improve on the AI Designer. But once again, thank you everyone for attending today's webinar, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.